Hello and welcome to The Insider, a show designed to clue you into the biggest news, events and announcements inside the video games industry, discussing with you some things you may know, some things you may not, and the glue that holds it all together is a little bit of my own opinion. My name is Paul James, thank you very much for watching, and let's kick off another episode. So though the event is only about to begin, Sony kicked off Tokyo Game Show in a big way, hosting a 2017 press conference where they revealed a whole bunch of games, largely Japanese-centric, to the masses, gave us a bit more information, gave us some release dates, gave us some new trailers, gave us new information, made some stealthy new announcements, you're going to buy it now sort of announcements. There was a lot that came out of this particular press conference. So in this week's episode of The Insider, I'm going to break down all that we've learned and discuss for you some of the things that you need to know and some of the things that you need to be most interested in. So the first game for discussion today is Left Alive, a brand new game from Square Enix, and there's developers responsible for Metal Gear Solid, Armored Core, and Xenoblade Chronicles X, all working on it. Now, we know it to be a post-apocalyptic shooter. We don't know a hell of a lot more than that. They're calling it survival, so maybe there's some horror aspects, maybe there's some don't starve aspects, who knows what's involved here. We really don't know a hell of a lot to it. The game looked quite pretty, but it was a CG trailer. The game, however, has been promised to come out in 2018, so it can't be that much longer before we learn more. Look forward to it, it's coming in 2018, have a bit of a look at this trailer. So next up today, we're going to talk about two games that were announced that were previous generation ports. First up, we're talking about Dragon's Crown. Now, rumours kind of emerged probably a week and a half prior to this conference that Dragon's Crown was going to get a PS4 port. The game previously was available for PS3 and Vita, and that it was going to be coming sometime in the coming months. Well, the leaks turned out to be true. Dragon's Crown Pro is coming to PS4s in Japan at the moment, locked in for January 2018. As far as us in the West, that remains to be seen, but look forward to it because it was a fantastic game when it came out last gen, and there's a whole new audience that now could potentially get to enjoy what was a fantastic game. Second of all, within that point, is the remaster of Zone of the Enders 2, The Second Runner. Now, if you've caught up with any patched episodes or Video Games Club episodes, you're familiar with Damo, and you know that he loves this franchise. What was most impressive about the fact that this game, a PS2 game previously, is getting a remaster is the fact that, in spite of the fact that the game's already received one remaster on the PS3 last gen, this PS4 version is going to be 4K. It's got VR support, which was most interesting. I'm sure Damo will want to come around, pop on my VR headset and give that one a go, because flying around in a mech in first person with a headset on, oh, that sounds real exciting. Third point for today is all about Shadow of the Colossus. Now, it was revealed at E3 2017 that Shadow of the Colossus, a previous PS2 classic that was then remastered with Eco on the PS3, was getting a remake, and it was courtesy of Bluepoint. We saw a new trailer. We didn't get a hell of a lot, but some interesting little tones kind of emerged from it. The Colossi looked surprisingly violent versus the original game, where they were meant to be kind of calm, docile beasts at the end of the day that were just kind of going about their own business. Here they seem to be more of a threat, which was interesting in terms of a tonal shift. But aside from that, we don't know a hell of a lot more. We know the game's on track for 2018 apparently, but if it's anything like The Last Guardian, who knows, they may not hit the release date. Look forward to it though, because it's a big part of what PlayStation's looking to do in 2018, and they're going to market the hell out of it, so look forward to it. I've not normally been a fan of the Monster Hunter games. I've been meaning to play them, but the time commitment required has been a massive point for me of difference. Well, our fourth point today is about Monster Hunter World. The game now has a release date. After getting a new trailer at TGS, we know that the game is going to be coming worldwide at the end of January. There's some really cool mechanics that are on show in this particular trailer. There's a lot more that we're going to learn about it, presumably at the event. Check out a little bit of a slice of this trailer because Monster Hunter World could be for you. The fifth and final point for today is one that I've been hoping would take place for several months and years, and basically the best part of a decade. Final Fantasy IX is my favourite ever video game. I spoke about it in great length during the recent JRPG July series through Player 2, so please make sure to check out my thoughts on that. But what was my highlight of this entire TGS conference, and basically potentially my year, is the fact that Final Fantasy IX, the port that was released to PC and iOS earlier in the year, has now arrived. It was one of those, and it's available now, announcements, to the PS4 with trophies, HD, all the things you want. It's not a full remake. I'd love that, but let's be honest, they're going to be working on the Final Fantasy VII remake for another 10 years, so maybe in a decade I'll hear about a remake of 9. Come on. But look, Final Fantasy IX, it's one of my favourite ever games. It is my favourite ever game. Final Fantasy fans worldwide kind of consider it to be one of the best in the franchise. There's lots and lots of things that I could be saying about this, but I'm going to encourage you to go check out the article. Final Fantasy IX is available for PS4 right now. Please pick it up. You're missing out on a gem if you don't. So there were several other announcements that were made. They were a little bit more niche, targeting more of a Japanese audience, and weren't as mainstream as some of the ones I spoke about today. But they're certainly the biggest 5 points that need to be discussed from this particular conference. There were little things that I guess were disappointing. Bloodborne 2 wasn't revealed like I think many had hoped it would be, including myself. Jay is probably kicking himself back at home at the fact that it wasn't announced, and there's several others. But there are also several small announcements that were made that people should be really looking forward to. So go check out the PlayStation YouTube channel, go check out what Square Enix have been doing, several other bits and pieces, some of the Capcom, Konami, some of those third parties, they've put out some cool stuff, and they're bound to reveal a lot more in the coming weeks as TGS kind of rolls along. That though ends another episode of The Insider. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure to like, share and subscribe down below where you can catch up with weekly episodes of The Insider, of Patched, the video games club. We've got weekly Player 2 Players episodes, there's trailers and a whole bunch more that you can only find at this particular channel. Make sure to visit www.player2.net.au where you can catch up with all the awesome written content. We're getting to the busiest time of the year right now where it's review season. There's all sorts of stuff going on. The draft is starting to come to a head. There's a whole bunch more that you can only catch again at the site, because at Player 2 we have some of the best talent in Australia. Please make sure to check it out. In the meantime, please make sure to visit us on Twitter, Player2AU. Make sure to catch myself, Paul James P2. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. I will catch you later.